Hi, and welcome to Jen Savage Fitness. Today we are going to do a standing core routine. We have 5 moves. It's a shoulder to shoulder press. We have an around the world, a suitcase march. We have a halo and also a single arm waiter's carry. Each of these moves is going to last for 60 seconds. We're just going to do one round of it, so add this in as a nice 5-minute core bonus. All right, so let's get started. The first move you're going to need a lighter weight for, and this is a shoulder to shoulder press. All right, so what we're going to do is kind of set our arms up almost like, we have the weight over our shoulder, but we want to have like this 90-degree bend in our elbow. From here, we're going to elevate up and rotate down to the other side and then back. We're going to do this for 60 seconds. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, as you're doing this, this is a nice slow and controlled movement, right? We want to make sure that we have our glutes squeezed, that we are bracing that core, that we are really working to maintain that nice mobility within our shoulders, keeping our back flat, making sure our shoulder blades are rotated down and back as we work through this move. It is something that is changing the weight from side to side, so you're going to notice that core kicking in, being like, oh, what is going on here? Why is the motion changing? Why is that weight moving? And that's just everyday life. We have things that are imbalances in our lives that come up, and we want to make sure that when those do arise, that our body is capable of handling the movement. That is our first move. Done, right? The next one is an around the world. Now this one I like to use a kettlebell, but I grabbed a dumbbell just in case you didn't have that. So what we're going to do, keep our feet about hip width apart. We are going to hold the weight off to one side, and then what we're going to do is transfer it around, but you don't want to focus on a lot of rocking, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do 30 seconds in one direction, and then we're going to do 30 seconds in the other. So this one's going to change around a little bit, right? So we're moving in one direction. I'll show you as you're going. You want to do your best to keep that core fully engaged as you move around one side. You're going to notice, once again, you're creating those imbalances, and switch. Now we're moving the opposite direction. This is working a little bit of that shoulder mobility too, because you're having to reach around, but that imbalance really helps those obliques fire up, and it works that deep core, helping you create that stability in this movement, so that a lot of times there's strength and then there's stability. The stability is the ability to maintain a position for an extended length of time. So just like that, you finished. All right, the next one is the suitcase march. So I'm gonna grab a little bit heavier weight for this one. Hold it off to one side. Now, a lot of times I see the weight just flop against the leg. I want you to grab a weight that you can hold off your leg, right? You want it to be about 2 to 3 inches off the leg. And this is another one. We're going to do 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other, as we simply engage in marching. All right, let's dive in and get started. So from here, there's going to be a little bit of a shift, right? Because that weight on one side is pulling you to that direction. So we have that balance piece also that's going on with this. We are fighting to maintain that upright position and not let that weight pull us down. We want to make sure that we are standing tall and strong in this. And now it's time to switch. One thing I like to do for this one too is to pretend like I'm shooting energy out of that non-weight bearing hand, but it's also working that grip strength as we go into this. We are working to keep that tall, strong balance and form as we move through this one step at a time. All right, and just like that, that move is done. Now we're going to grab that lighter weight again. We're going to do what's known as a halo. So you want to grab that weight by either bell, and you want to start off with it on one shoulder, rotating around, and then we're going to rotate the opposite direction. This one's going to go for that full 30 or 60 seconds. So let's dive in. We're going to go one direction and then simply rotate in the opposite direction. How is that core feeling? I bet it's feeling a little spicy right about now, because you want to think about in this, keeping that nice little pelvic tuck so that you are squeezing those glutes, activating that core, keeping that stance tall and strong, not letting that weight move you from side to side, but rather you are controlling that weight. If you have a top knot like I do, you might be messing it up a little bit right now, but that's okay. It's all in the name of building that strength and getting to be the strongest version of you. We have just a couple seconds left, and just like that, we are to our last move. Now we're going to keep that lighter weight. And this one is just a single arm waiter's carry, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to extend that arm overhead. Once again, we're going to do 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other. But before we dive in, I want you to notice, you want to keep that bicep by your ear for the entire 30 seconds, okay? So let's dive in. Elevate it up. Now we've got 30 seconds. You want to think about keeping that shoulder blade nice and stacked, keeping that pelvic tuck, bracing that core, keeping a light little motion in those knees so that they're not locked out, holding that weight straight up for this 30 seconds. You're going to realize it gets a little spicy pretty quickly, but in that spiciness, that is where, and we want to switch to the other side, all that work is taking place, right? We're working our core, and we are also working that shoulder stability. We're also building that stacked positioning from floor to ceiling so that as we move about life, then we know that we have the ability and the strength in all the pockets to make sure that we are able to withstand any of the little nuances, the winds that blow, right? And just like that, we are done. That is your core series. If you need to, you can get onto the floor, engage in Cobra, and just kind of work it all out. But I will let you do what you need to do to keep moving about the day. If you enjoyed this, I would love for you to hit the subscribe, hit the like, leave a comment, something so that we can continue to build this community together. Because as we show up for one another, that is the best way to keep going, to make sure that we keep going and focus on that progress. All right, have a great day, and know you got this.